Welcome to lab number 8, identifying swings and segments. We'll start with swing points, which are swing highs and swing lows. For this exercise, we're going to be on a weekly chart looking at stock HOV. Then we're going to place two timelines as reference points on our chart. We're going to place our first timeline anywhere on the chart and then go into the settings cog of your trading platform and change the date on the timeline to October 27th, 2008. Now don't be alarmed, but once you do that, the timeline is going to move out of sight on the chart. This is just temporary, and we'll get to that in a moment. You're then going to repeat the process for the second timeline, but you're going to change the date on the second timeline to December 8th of 2003. Once you've placed both timelines, go ahead and adjust the chart so that both timelines are within view and the candles are also easy to view and as large as you can make them while keeping both timelines on the screen. Then you're going to place a down arrow at each swing high and place a up arrow at each swing low between the two timelines. If you're using Thinkorswim, you can use the arrow tool, or you can draw circles on each swing low and each swing high. Altogether, you should end up with about 20 or so swing lows and swing highs combined. Now, depending on how detailed you want to be, you may find more than 20 or you may find less than 20. Keep in mind, you must have a swing low between two consecutive swing highs and vice versa, unless, of course, the swing high or low is on either end of the chart. Okay, so here I have my chart opened up on HOV, that's the stock, and I'm on a weekly time frame, 1W. All right, so I have my timelines placed. One of the timelines is going to be December 8th, 2003, and the other should be October 27th, 2008. All right, so you can go ahead and place your timelines anywhere and then go into the settings cog. That's going to be this little gear here. And then when you go inside the settings cog, there should be an area on your platform where you can change the date for the timeline. And then once you place both timelines and change the date, the timelines will disappear. Again, you'll have to move the chart so that you can fit both timelines on the screen. And then once you've got your chart set up the way you want, pause the video and then go ahead and start identifying your swing highs and lows. Again, once you've identified them all, you should have close to 20, a little more, a little less, depending on how detailed you want to be. And then once you've got them all placed, unpause the video and we'll go over the correct answer. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, and the correct answer is... All right, so coming from the right, moving left, we have a high, we have a low here, we have a high, we have another low, then we have a high, a low, and another high. Now you may have decided to skip this one and move straight to this point here. And again, this is fine. Your chart doesn't have to look exactly like mine. But ideally you want to have identified at least most of these. And then of course, as you're identifying your swing highs and swing lows, you want to make sure that you have a swing low between two consecutive swing highs, and vice versa. You want to make sure that you have a high between two consecutive swing lows, unless of course your swing high or swing low is at the end of the chart. All right, but coming from here, from this high, we have a low, we have a high here, then a low, then a high, coming down, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then low, high. All right, So again, doesn't have to look exactly like that, but ideally you want to have identified most of these and then try to get an understanding of the basic concept. Now that we've identified the swing highs and lows, we want to connect the swing highs and lows together so we can draw out the segments. To do this, we can use a trend line connecting each swing high and swing low from one end of the chart to the other. Keep in mind, we want to use the highest and lowest points on each respective candle. So if the high point happens to be a wick, then we use the wick. If the high point is the body of the candle, then we use the body. All right. So we're going to go back to our trading platform, and you're going to take a trend line and you're going to connect each one of these high and low points on the chart. So to connect each one, again, we're going to use a trend line, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate the first few for you. So when you place the arrows, they didn't have to be exact. You just kind of wanted to identify the area to give yourself a visual. But when you're looking at the trend line, you want to be specific. So we see that the high point here is going to be on this candle. Hopefully you can see this on your screen. All right, this candle is at September 15th, 2008. So I'm going to place the cursor at the top of that wick there. And then I'm going to drag it down to the bottom of this wick on this candle here, July 14th, 2008. All right, then I'm going to take another trend line and place it at July 14th, 2008. And I'm going to drag this all the way up to the top wick of March 24th, 2008. Okay, so in that fashion, that's kind of how you want to do it. You want to start at the top, the highest point on the candle, whether it's the wick or the body, down to the lowest point, whether it's the wick or the body. In these cases, we have some wicks here. So these are the points we've identified. So go ahead and go through the remainder of the swing highs and swing lows and connect each one of these points with a trend line. So pause the video, go ahead and perform the exercise, and then once you're done, unpause the video and we'll go over the correct answers. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, and the correct answer is? All right, and here we have our trend lines. So, and actually, coming over here on the left, there is one more that I actually failed to mark off on my chart. Hopefully you were able to see that, but for whatever reason, I initially missed it. Now, just to kind of set you at ease if you hadn't thought about it already, when you're scoring your trade, you don't necessarily need to draw these trend lines between each swing high and each swing low. This is simply an exercise to kind of get you familiar with the process. And then hopefully, while you're looking at a live chart, you'll have some muscle memory, so to speak, that these things and swing highs and swing lows and all these little more or less data points on the chart will start jumping out at you. And you can kind of see these things and identify them when you're looking to take your position. And then again, these are basic building blocks. We're going to build on these fundamentals, and you'll be able to use these basic building blocks in order to identify trend and then time the market as we move along. All right, so if your chart doesn't look exactly like mine, no worries. The next step, we're going to go into identifying the segments between each swing low and swing high. All right, so in identifying the segments between each swing low and swing high, we're going to draw boxes in order to identify the segments between each swing low and swing high. And for a better visual, you can change the color of each box, or rather you should change the color of each box in order to represent the direction of price, green for price moving upward, and red for price moving downward. And then again, these are just basic exercises to go through in order to develop some muscle memory so that once we start looking at live charts, these things will jump out at us, and we can easily identify them based on the practices and uh, labs that we've already gone through. All right, so we can start by drawing a few boxes just as an example, and then I'll let you finish out the rest on your own. Now, fortunately, this chart actually colors in the boxes for me. So I have a low point there, then a high, or a high, then a low, then it comes up, or rather, actually, if we're moving from left to right, it would be going down. So I'll just do those two. So from here, moving left to right, you see price coming up to the high point, then price coming down to the low, then price moving up to the high. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, draw out the boxes, change the colors to represent price going up and price going down. And in that process, you're going to want to start on the far left of the chart and then make your way to the right side. All right, so go ahead and complete that task. Pause the video, and then once you're done, unpause the video, and we'll go ahead and go through it. All right, go ahead and pause the video now. All right, and the correct answer is... All right, so this particular portion of the exercise was a bit tedious. I'd actually tried conducting the same exercise on the Thinkorswim website. It was actually a little more work than I really felt like being bothered with. But again, ideally, this is to assist you with identifying trends and the flow of the market as you're looking at taking a position. So if you're looking at these boxes, and you can kind of just look at them like stairs, you see that it comes across here, the top, and then the top drops. All right, and then it kind of comes across, and it starts to come up, comes across again. Then there's a really big move up, then it comes across, then there's a really big move up, then it comes across, and then from this point, the stairs are coming down. That's kind of just how I look at them, like stairs. All right, so they come over, come down, comes over, then there's a long drop here, then it comes over, drops a bit, and then comes over again. So that's kind of how you can use those to identify market direction. Okay, but ideally, once your boxes are drawn, you should have a swing high and a swing low connected to the corners of each box. You should also see a trend line cutting evenly through the center of each box from one high end to the other low end of each box. The trend line should cut diagonally through each box, effectively creating two symmetrical triangles for each box that you've drawn. From left to right, looking at each box, if the candles traveled higher, then that would mean it's an upward segment. And if the candles travel downward from left to right, then that would mean it's a downward segment. And then, of course, as a visual aid, you would color in each box respective to the price movement. If we pretend the boxes are staircases, you're either going to be traveling up the staircase, down the staircase, or across the staircase. And depending on which direction you would be moving in while traveling the staircase, that would help you determine whether it is an uptrend or a downtrend, or perhaps even a sideways trend. You should also notice when price is moving up, the green boxes will be taller, and when price is moving down, the red boxes will be taller. If price is moving across, then the green boxes and the red boxes tend to be similar in height and size. At any rate, that will conclude this particular lab. Before you move on, go back through the lab and practice identifying swing highs and swing lows. Once you've identified the swing highs and swing lows, practice drawing trend lines connecting swing highs and swing lows. Then once you've identified the swing highs and swing lows and connected each swing high and swing low using a trend line, practice connecting each swing high and swing low using the boxes to connect them from one corner of the box to the other corner of the box. Make sure that your trend line cuts diagonally through each box, creating a symmetrical triangle on each end of the box. This will not only assist you in identifying up segments and down segments, but it will also assist you in identifying impulsions and corrections in both up segments and in down segments. Hope to see you in the next video.